back at it with another YouTube video. And in today's video, we're doing WandaVision episode number 7 uh, review here. Yeah, so another good episode. Uh, really enjoyed it. It was a bit of a flashback. I'm going to call it like a flashback episode, basically. That's what it was. And the episode is called Previously On. So yeah, technically the name kind of fits with the theme of the episode, which is kind of like flashback, because this is really what it's for. It's a flashback episode. And before we start, it's just this review is going to be a spoiler review, and also if you haven't watched it yet, make sure to watch till the end. There's a post-credit scene. So yeah, now that's out of the way. Let's talk about the episode. Episode starts off. It starts off with a bit of a flashback back to the Salem witch trials or whatever, or Salem, Massachusetts. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce that properly. But yeah, basically the state where Boston's in, basically, that's what I'm just gonna say. So yeah, we get a flashback to like, I can't remember, it was like 16,000, somewhere around there. Like 1638 or something. Don't remember the exact date, but yeah. That happens, and we see Agatha's there, and basically she's getting tried or whatever. But I don't think it's the way it happened in real life. I think it's more of just MCU version of it. So basically, what was happening was witches were basically try, trying her for using dark powers, basically, and they were using good powers and whatever. And they basically were just about to execute her, and she's way too powerful, and she basically just killed them all, honestly. And she basically absorbed all their powers, and then yeah, the scene gets cut off there. Then what happens next is we get transported to Wanda and Agatha and back in that basement or whatever. So that happens, and then she basically takes him. She's like, I got your kids, whatever. Uh, yeah, and that happens, and she basically, I assume, explains herself, really. And then we get taken back into flashbacks. The three flashbacks is going to be the when her parents died, um, when she got her powers. I purposely say quotations that in quotations on purpose, because let me explain something afterwards. But and then we get to where I'm pretty sure it's like a little bit before Civil War, where Wanda is with Vision. That happens, and like moments after Pietro was killed. And then for the fourth time, we see what actually happened between Wanda and Hayward. So yeah, that was definitely really interesting. Got some questions answered, a lot of questions answered, and yeah, so that happened. Uh, I'm not gonna talk too much about talking about the episode, because I just think it's a waste of time, honestly. I'll I'll point out stuff, but I think from now on in my reviews, especially unless I think it's worth it, I'm not going to go in detail with all the episodes and stuff. So yeah, like how I was doing that with like explaining every part, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna give a brief summary. So yeah, all that stuff happened. Now for my initial thoughts. This episode was really good. I really enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Really good. Um, yeah. Best of the season, but you gotta remember these episodes are gonna be better and better. Like I expect the season finale to be the best out of all of them. Just because you have to remember this is a show where we kind of start off knowing nothing, and then we're starting gradually knowing more. And yeah, uh, then we see in the post credit scene also, we see, or actually let me explain one thing first. When we were told Wanda stole Vision's body or whatever, he when we're told that, Vision, she doesn't actually take Vision away. She doesn't do that. And we see actually that Wanda tried to bring him back from that, but she just couldn't, and she didn't bother with him, and she just left. Then she went to a town called Westview, where supposedly Wanda and Vision wanted to like settle down after Avengers, I assume. And then she basically just spewed a whole lot of energy all over the place, and it basically created Westview and the whole thing there with all the 50s and stuff. And something else to see also is why she was doing the sitcom thing. I thought it was very interesting in terms of that because she was watching, she was pretty much watching TV shows in different eras. If you notice that, because she was watching, uh, I remember it's like the Dick Van Dyke Show. I'm not too familiar with that show, but that's based in the 50s. And there was like a 60s or 70s show. I wasn't sure exactly. I think that might have been the Brady Bunch, but I'm not too familiar with that. And then I saw Malcolm in the Middle, I presume for 2000s, and pretty much themes of episodes really. So I thought that was very interesting in that aspect. It was also interesting to find out that Wanda basically created Vision again. Like that's not Vision's body. That's just an entirely new Vision. That's why he wasn't able to. I presume that's why he's not able to come out of the Westview place because Wanda doesn't really have control of him there, and he's basically created by Wanda. So I thought that was very, very interesting. And yeah, in the post-credit scene, you know how I was talking about how Wanda doesn't actually have that's not actually Vision's body. We see Hayward is using Wanda's energy to basically create a Vision, basically Vision, but like he's like blue, kind of blue and white looking. So I was just like, oh, that looks awesome, but it's like, oh no, because I think what's gonna happen next episode, and I have my theories for that. But let's talk more about Agatha and Wanda. Is actually Agatha on most of the episode was Agatha trying to figure out how exactly Wanda did this, because I presume she doesn't really know how she did this. So she's curious to see what's happening, and she's trying to see if something she thinks is true. And goes to the end of the episode. We see Agatha is basically controlling her kids. Uh, or hold on, and also we don't see it, but Agatha basically said she created Pietro. We already kind of knew that, so yeah, no word from Quicksilver or Pietro or whatever, or Peter, because that's his name in the X-Men universe. But we'll call him Pietro from now on. But we didn't hear from them or Monica Rambeau. Very curious about that. Um, yeah, and then we see Agatha, and she's basically holding on to Tommy and Billy's neck or whatever, and they're like, no, no, no. And then Wanda comes out, she's like, hey, unhand my kids. And then it looks like there's going to be a battle between the two of them. And basically, Agatha is just like, you're really the Scarlet Witch that's been unseen for like years, or not years, but she's like, Scarlet Witch, you're the Scarlet Witch or whatever. And something to note interestingly is, I realized this last week, I didn't put it in the video, but Wanda and Pietro were never called Quicksilver or never called Scarlet Witch. If you realize that, they were never called it. I think it's because of the rights. I think they purposely didn't call her Scarlet Witch or Quicksilver, because on purpose. I think it's because the right wise. So this really shows something, because if you remember, I said how she got her powers from the Mind Stone. Now, what I think really happened is that Wanda actually had her powers all along. She was a mutant, but she never knew how to use her powers or anything. And the Mind Stone basically awakened her powers. That's really what I think happened, because we got a glimpse into seeing what, like, our comic book version when there's a close up on the stone. So I thought that was really interesting in that aspect. Yeah. Sorry, my mouse was I think my mouse was in the middle of the screen the whole time. My apologies, but yeah. So that's really interesting in that aspect. Yeah. No word from. We didn't really see Monica Rambeau or Peter or Pietro, whatever you want to call him. We didn't see those two. We saw more of Hayward. We didn't see Agent Wu, the good old Asian Wu there. Uh, Everyone's favorite character. um, yeah. So I'm really excited because next episode I have some theories what's probably gonna go down. I think it's gonna probably be we're gonna end up seeing Wanda versus Vision or Vision 2 or the Blue Vision. I don't know what to call him, but the Hayward version of Vision. Um, yeah, I think we're gonna see that, and I think we're also gonna see maybe, hopefully, if our theories are true, hopefully we'll see some mutants too. I really hope that. I hope the next episode's like an hour long. I would like to see that, or technically 40 minutes because the credits are so damn long. But yeah, um, I'm really excited for the next episode. I have some theories of what might go down. Like we might see mutants. Uh, we may see even Doctor Strange. I think we might see Doctor Strange as well. We could, maybe not. I don't know. Uh, we could see mutants. I expect. I hopefully I'm like 75% sure that probably we're gonna see Wanda versus Vision. It's kind of inevitable, or Sentinel, and then yeah, I think that would be really cool. Um, and yeah, Hayward is just kind of proving the theory of that Hayward just may try to make Sentinels. If you've been realizing that, I've been theorizing it. A lot of people out there, a lot of other people have been theorizing it, but that Hayward's trying to make Sentinels. That's what people are thinking. And honestly, that could become true because he just basically created one. Honestly, um, yeah, this looks like it's gonna be a good season finale. I can't wait. Um, and yeah, of course, I'll review it on the channel. Yeah. Other than that, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.